4 a.m. fam, I have a plan and I need everybody's help. This is in response to my last video where I told about dreams I had about disasters in certain areas. I want us to come together to use our collective intention to mitigate those storms. So I'm going to tell you how I think we should do that. But first, I'm going to tell you how I came to this conclusion. And I'm going to tell you what Spirit has shown me about really the next phase of the Earth transition, why these storms are more common, more prevalent, and what we are being invited to do about it. So as I said in that last video, this is all new to me. I don't have premonitions of disasters. That ain't my jam. And so I sat with Spirit after I made that video to get guidance on this. What can we do about it? You can't just be showing me this and then the only answer is to run, because that's in direct opposition to what Spirit has been showing me for weeks, which is all about standing in our power. We, the people, are powerful. And this is about ascension, transition, expansion of consciousness. It's not just about the political situation in the US and around the world. So we can't be only given the answer that, oh, some psychics are going to have dreams and then we run. That ain't it. I'm not resting on that. So then I was reminded of a video I made maybe a couple months ago where I said, what if the whole reason that we are given premonitions of bad things, we are given omens, we're given signs, visions into catastrophe, what if the whole reason for that is so that we can change it, so that we can make a different choice and not go down that path of disaster? So that's what I said to Spirit. Okay, perfect. I will rally the troops. We will use our collective intention to do what we can to mitigate the effects of these and other storms. And then Spirit said, yes, and yes, and we want you to do an event. So I'll tell you about that event at the end of this thing. It's not going to be for everybody, only for those who really feel called to this work. So here's what we're going to do about this. So I'm not going to do anything formal. I'm not going to do a live. I'm not going to lead a circle about this particular instance, but instead I'm going to invite you. I'm going to invite you in whatever way most resonates with you, whether that's prayer, meditation, journaling, walk in nature, whatever feels right to you, most comfortable to you, to tune into Spirit, to use your intention, your desire, and ask that these storms be lessened, that their effects are not catastrophic, that the weather patterns will return to a normal and healthy flow state. Now, we do want to pause here and say, just because I had the dreams, it doesn't mean I'm correct. It doesn't mean my interpretation of them is correct. And it doesn't mean that disaster is imminent. No. But I was given 2 separate dreams and 3 separate locations: Boston, Detroit, and Houston. And when I looked those areas up, indeed, they are under severe storm watch at the moment. So all signs point to there's a trouble a brewing, and we were given the heads up. So this is a perfect opportunity for us to harness our collective intention to return the weather to proper balance in these areas and all else in all other areas around the world that are in need of this attention now. We're going to test this out. We're going to see how it goes. And then, for those of you who want to go deeper with this, I've got an opportunity for you. I have mentioned in passing a few times that I consider myself to be a weather witch. And that's because I've been through a long process of this, of seeing natural disaster and being so terrified of it, and deciding instead that I was going to use whatever spiritual psychic ability is possible to change the events in my world. And over a period of time, I did learn how to do that. And I did see the effects. And I do now have this ability for my surroundings. And in the process of learning how to do this, I learned about tribal ways and ancient cultures that this was a natural part of their life on Earth. Living in harmony with the seasons, being in harmony with the elements and the elemental beings, and knowing how to do this as a healthy part of living in co-creation with Mother Earth. Now, I do not consider myself an expert in this area, which is why I've never really talked about it. But Spirit has pushed me to set up an event and to teach and to channel. So that's what I've done. I've set up an event for next Wednesday where I will teach a class, channel the information, and then I will do a ceremony to awaken and activate this ability in those who are ready, those who feel called to do this. This session will be largely channeled because, as I've said, I am not an expert and Spirit has told me we will bring through those beings, collectives, and intelligences who will reveal this information. So while I will spend some time gathering information for our class, I will then allow Spirit to channel the bulk of the information for us. And finally, I will lead us through a ceremony to activate that ability. Now, if you're wondering, is this for me? How do I know if this is for me? Really, it's only based on your desire. All of the psychic, spiritual, gifted abilities are for everyone. Not everyone is interested. Not everyone wants them. Not everyone feels called to them. So if you're listening to this and you're going, sounds cool, but then that's probably not for you. But if you're listening to it and it stirs you and it awakens something in you and you have desire for this, I want you to consider attending. It does not require you to be psychic or to be intuitive. All it requires of you is a willingness to be open to the forces of nature and to work in harmony and learn to be receptive to the calls of nature. All it requires of you is to be a conduit of the divine, which we all have the ability to do. I will teach you how to harness this more intentionally so that you can be a vessel for the energies that will help heal the earth, because that's what's at the core of all of this. I'm going to show you what Spirit channeled through me as I was setting up this event information. They came barreling through as I was writing the details and channeled the description. I'll pause here and you can pause to read that. So if this calls to you, I hope to see you there. And for the rest of you, please take a couple moments today. Let's unify our intention, harness our ability to calm the storms, and bring safety and peace for all involved. Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe this. While I was reviewing the video before posting it, I just looked out my window and I just saw a hawk dive down and catch prey. Which there are hawks here, but I've never seen one actually doing it. And then as I was watching, it was joined by two others, and they've been flying around, circling outside my window ever since then. I'm going to add a quick video. Yes, that is the view outside my bedroom window. #blessed. The symbolism and the synchronicity of that right now, holy cow.